Hello, Star Wars players. Welcome to another episode of SWCCG Holotheatre. My name is Queso. Joining me as always is Dan, and our special guest is Reed Smith. Say hi.
Good evening, all.
Reed Smith coming to you live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh.
How's it feel to be on the show for the first time, Reed?
Oh, I'm just delighted to be here. Happy to be alongside Jerry,
Woo woo!
Queso Sauce 37, the Hall of Famer.
Oh, not yet.
Preamble to our rendezvous at the Endor Grand Prix, where he and I will be co-commentating.
Yeah, looking forward.
Yeah.
So,
Looking forward to that. So we'll have a lot of fun for you guys up in Seattle. So make sure to come out for that, or if you can't come, tune in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Reed, why have you decided to do commentary and not go out and play?
well, I told Matt this coming out of the John Anderson Memorial that I had a really decent by my standards 2018 NPC win, Yam for regional championship. My top 8 at Endor that year. I lost to Lenny. He ended up winning. I think I did top 4 at nationals or something. I don't. Basically, I had as good a shot as anybody at Player of the Year 2018 going into Worlds. Is basically whoever won Worlds was going to get Player of the Year. Ended up being Bastion. Bastion wins Worlds. Bastion wins Player of the Year. Big finish for him. And then 2019 for me was just competitively a dud. So I told Matt coming out of John Anderson Memorial, I was like, hey, I might be looking at, because Matt's he's the multimedia special projects advocate. I figured who better to talk to. I was like, hey, if you can get me in and do commentary, one or maybe more events this year, then I'd totally be down to do it, because it's something I've enjoyed over the years. Like after getting knocked out of various events, I'd often crash the commentating.
Yeah.
booth.
Yeah.
I've always
Yeah,
enjoyed
was-
having you in when you crash the party because you always know what you're talking about. You
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm also like, man, this guy, whoever I kicked out of the booth, like I kicked out Hayes at John Anderson Memorial.
You kicked me out.
This guy, came explicitly for commentary, and I'm just like, hey, get out of here, my
Speak-
turn.
Yeah.
Speaking as someone who does commentary a lot, it's always nice for us to be able to take a little break, go get something to eat. You can walk around. It's
Yeah.
just as stressful as playing an event is. It's also kind of you're stuck to one chair. You're doing lots of stuff, so it's nice to be able to get up,
Sure.
stretch your legs, go outside and all that good stuff. So
Sure,
I
but
mean,
I'm so happy
and-
to do it, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity. Thank you, Jerry, because I know this decision was not made without you for selecting me, and I'm very happy that
Yeah.
happened.
I think everybody will enjoy it.
But for my fans out there who do look forward to my competitive play, if you want to pick me in fantasy this year, the event to do it would be the MPC.
All
Well,
right.
I mean,
That is an event
you've always got.
I will always play
Yeah.
competitively in the MPC. So I will not be seeking to do commentating for that. I'll be seeking to win.
There you
Well, I
go.
mean, you've gone to every NPC. I think you're one of the how many? I think it's like 5.
Yeah, it's dwindling, man.
Yeah.
I do still include Matt Sokol. He hasn't played in it, but he actually did commentary
Yes.
last year or the year previous.
Yeah, I want to say it was last year.
Yeah, it was last year. I helped
So
him
he's-
with that one. I was the first game
Yeah,
on
so he
stream.
still counts as one of the the select, and I feel badly honestly trying to name them all because I know that I would forget, but I think it's I think it's Shaw and Konsker,
Yeah,
Um,
but
sounds
not
right.
Taco Bill, right? Taco Bill missed
No.
one or two, didn't he? When he was in
Taco,
Hawaii?
yeah, he was in Hawaii, so he was
Gogolin,
stationed out
that's
in
right.
Hawaii.
Gogolin
Yeah,
has
Gogolin,
been-
because he's run it. Shaw's been out there every year. Outside of that, I mean,
I know
don't think
Jan
Chris
was at a lot
Kelly-
of them, but I feel like he missed one.
Yeah, Jan has at least missed one. But outside of those guys, I can't think of anybody else who has been to every one.
It's tough. I mean, it's been around forever now. The first one was in 2007.
Yeah,
What's
going
that?
strong.
13 of them.
So that'll be one to
Coming
look
up in
forward to
14.
after the indoor.
12 years. 12 years.
Heck yeah.
I mean, Jerry, I see you got the show and the trailer for the Mandalorian behind you now.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I got the World
Yeah,
Series. The
yeah.
World Series is on, so
Yeah.
you can watch Holotheatre, and I'll keep you updated on all the World Series updates. So
Yeah.
that way you can not have to watch baseball. Watch Star Wars CCG.
Really,
related
I mean,
content instead.
I mean, after the last few games, who really cares?
Well, there was quite that controversy with the one last night, but
That's what I was talking about. Last night's game, who really cares? And I find it weird that Game 7 comes the day after Game 6. Usually, isn't there like a day in between?
baseball's a little different and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's a few people who are Star Wars players and also Washington Nationals fans that are quite
I know
caring.
Lenny and his wife are big National fans.
Lenny, Matt Wadden, and Taco Bill, I think, is also a national supporter. So
Well, I mean, Taco Bell's from, isn't he from like Philly or
yeah, but
Jersey?
he never picked a baseball team. There was a whole thing about it a while back. So Taco Bill's
I
baseball
think
team
in
is the
other
Nats.
sports, Dan, that there's a day between Game 6
Yeah.
and 7 because they need a day for travel because they break it down to like 2,
Yeah.
1, 1, and 1. But
But-
baseball's 2, 3, 2.
Yeah, so the 2-3-2 format makes it so, and baseball, I mean, they play 160 games and there's a lot of back-to-backs to backs, so they're kind of sort of used to it, I would guess. But
Yeah.
all right, well, that's enough about the baseball. But
Let's get into some Star Wars.
yeah, we'll start off with our it's a hit questions for this evening.
Okay.
Yeah. First off, we have a cool little intro thing that we're gonna do here for the it's a hit. Let me load it up.
Yeah.
It's been a second. Okay, here we go. Aha, yeah.
Nice.
Look at the production value, guys. We are getting off the chain. All right.
See, Chris Gogolin has nothing like this.
Right? That was all Dan. Thank you, Dan. I just clicked a few buttons
Nice.
and changed some font colors.
This is me. This is what I do when I'm bored at work.
Yeah, I liked it. All right. So, Dan, you have the first one
So
for us.
the first one. So a lot of these are going to be OCS related. That's because it's
and
really the
Jawa
only thing
Cup
that's-
related.
Nobody cares about the Jawa Cup.
There's a
I
few-
mean, we do. We do.
There's a few Jawa
'Cause
Cup
we're
questions.
I
playing.
thought
in
that's
there.
all you guys are going to be talking about today is Jawa Cup. The new meta.
We still have Bastion, Shaw, Silver Glen, and Werfs. Go Werfs.
Go
But no,
Werfs.
so out of the 4 players for the Final Four in the OCS, 3 of them will play ROPS.
It's a hit. Because I know Werfs has been playing that Rops.
What, am I
mains.
expected to respond? Okay, it's a hit.
Oh, yeah,
It's a hit.
you're here.
Three ROPs in the top 4, sure.
Yeah, this is how things work, Reed. You've watched our show before. We say ridiculous
I think he
things,
has.
and then you say it's a hit,
What's
swing
the
or
name
a
of this
miss.
show?
The show
I'm pretty sure-
is called Holotheatre, but this segment is called Swing and a Miss. Production value, off the chart. All right. So, Dan, what was your answer?
It's a hit.
All right. So we're
Werfs is
all
going to play his deck. Bastion knows what he wants to play. And
then
I think
so-
Shaw's going to be at least the last one because him and Silver
Silver
Glen's
Glen.
not going to do. Silver Glen's not going to do what he did with Joe Olsen. Say, oh, let's just not play ROPS.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that this time. So, yep, I'll say it's a hit. So the second one is for me. It is there will be 2 Diplo decks among the final 4. Is that it's a hit, swing and a miss? Reed?
I don't want mine to be swing and a miss. I want mine to be I just assume kiss a Wookiee.
Okay.
And that's my answer.
Well, we can on this version.
Okay. For Reed,
It will not
for
be my
Reed's sake,
I just assume kiss a Wookiee.
You could use a good kiss.
You didn't see us along in the South Passage.
hey, what you guys do at Endor is all on you guys. Just saying.
You're
Nah.
gonna be there too.
Yeah, I'll be playing.
Well, there's always snuggle time afterwards.
Is that what you call it?
Good stuff.
Hey, the last time I was at Endor, I came in second in the
What
consolation.
happens in Endor stays in Endor.
Is in Endor. I'm going to say it's a hit. I can see at least 2 people, Shaw and Bastion, playing Diplo.
Oh, Shaw's gonna play Diplo.
I could put Shaw on Diplo.
I'm gonna say swing and a miss because I think we'll probably see 1, but 2, I think it's a stretch, but that's very questionable. 2's a good line for that one for sure. So your turn, Mr. Dan.
I didn't write any.
Okay.
It's okay.
Don't worry, we got you covered. We got you covered.
We got 8
So-
questions. Dan came up with all of them this week, so thank you.
So in the OCS, the Tantive will the Tantive 4 will be the most important card for light side.
Tantive. So when you say most important, I guess
So it will be like the card that decides.
the most influential in the games.
Yeah, the most
So I
influential.
mean, with Diplo, we get Tantive on the table to start, so we already have that, and then
And if people are expecting ROPS, it's a good,
all right.
somewhat counter.
So yeah, I mean, with that in mind, I'll go ahead and say it's a hit. Or what's the opposite of I just as soon kiss a Wookiee, Reed?
It can wait. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because we want an answer right now.
It's like just a continuation of the last two questions. It's like, is ROPS going to be big? Yes, then Tantive is going to be important. Are people going to play Diplo? Yes, then Tantive is going to be important.
True.
So if there are 3 ROPS decks and there are fewer than 2 Diplo decks, I mean, still the Tantive is still going to be important. So yeah, I think the Tantive.
All right.
It's a hit.
It's a hit. All right. Number 4 is Bastion will win the OCS. It's a hit or swing and a miss.
Honestly, at this point, it's a hit. I mean, I like Wirfs. He's playing really strong, especially in the OCS. He's played really good at Continentals, but Bastion's Bastion at this point.
It's playing pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go swing and a miss just to be different because I think one of the other 3 guys can do it. Justin's playing pretty well. Greg's playing pretty well. So I'll say he gets knocked out. Not sure by who, but one of those guys will get him.
Okay.
Well, if you're a betting man, to always take the field. But that said, this is not just a hit; it is an enhanced proton torpedo straight up the exhaust pipe of the Death Star, not Death Star himself from the forums, but the Death Star of the remaining players in the OCS, and that thing is going to be blown away.
All right.
As Bastion Boss walks off with the big online championship series victory.
All right. I like it. That was fantastic.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So, question 5. So we all know that Pittsburgh has created their own limited format for their local tournament weekend. You guys made your own little limited format, right? You have a band list. You have like all this special thing that you guys are doing, right? You now sit on the forums, or at least Matt did.
So yeah,
this is for
local tournament weekend.
For the local tournament weekend.
Okay, yeah, you're right, but I don't think everybody knows that, especially with the Java Cup going on, which is really pretty funny because we were working on our format at the same time that the Java Cup people were working on theirs.
I'm saying that going forward in the meta overall, the band list and the format that you guys came up with is going to be real. It's going to shape the new meta in the next few months.
I don't think it's going to shape it as much as the Java Cup thing is going to shape it. Like the Java Cup, and I love our format. I love what we've come up with, and really excited to share it with whoever expresses interest. And it looks like we're going to have decent attendance at our event. Too bad, Daniel, that you can't be there. PMJ also, he said it's off by a week early.
Yeah,
same. We might be able to have him up, which would have been awesome. So we're expecting maybe about 10 people. So but it's still like for a limited format, real life tournament. I think that's awesome.
I mean, you guys are bringing
the Java Cup thing as like taking GEMP by storm. And whenever you log in, it's like every other game is like Java, please, Java.
Utini.
I play a couple games of it, and I like it just fine. There's a lot of room for exploration there, and there's a lot of room for exploration in Pittsburgh limited format also.
Okay, Jerry, you got the next one.
Yeah,
that was one for Reed.
All right, so this one is sort of Java Cup related. So without OA, ROPS, MAP, and the other like my father before me type stuff, the Java Cup will be more fun than the OCS. It's a hit, swing and miss.
You know what? It's a hit. I don't like playing against ROPS. I mean, I don't mind playing it. I don't like playing against it. I like playing OA, but I know a lot of people don't, so it's good to try out some new things.
Yeah. Basically excited to play in meta because we're doing Java Cup format for our local tournament in Colorado. Which what are the big differences between the Pittsburgh format and the Java Cup? I'm not sure I exactly know.
Oh, they're huge.
Are they?
They're huge. Like the Java Cup, there's definitely elegance and simplicity what they did was basically just chop the head off, like all the
Right.
top decks is that, and that's and LMFBM.
Yeah.
But what we did with the Pittsburgh Limited format is basically like take an overall holistic approach, if you will, of all the cards, and just we culled the weak. And we also did chop some heads off in terms of strong cards, like there's one of the most controversial cards would be Wackling. Didn't make it. And that's a card that I love, and would always feel like, I mean, I don't know what it's going to be like. Well, I know a little bit because I've been doing it, but I don't know what it's going to be like building light decks overall, like in general, without Wackling.
Yeah, because when we were doing the original
it's
reset, I was kind of against Wackling being included, but you kind of just learn to live with it at this point. But it's basically just a card that every light side deck uses.
It's always been one of the most, to use one of the size favorite words, polarizing cards. Whenever any one of these types of talks pops up and people start talking about nerfing cards or removing cards, it's always been one of those cards where like you either just love it so much, you just can't imagine like being without it, or you're just really ready for the game to move up, to move forward without. But either way, like honestly, this is one issue where I felt like I to kind of straddle the fence a little bit into positive effect.
All right. I like that one. So I'm going to say that, definitely the more fun will be had in the different metas tournament. So I'll say it's a hit.
Oh yeah, that's another big hit.
Big ol' hit. Destiny
Especially
7.
considering some of the OCS players are already modifying their games rules-wise with what they're agreeing to play.
Right.
Making gentlemen's agreements.
Gentlemen's agreements, decks. Which that was cool for Joe Olson and Justin to do that.
Yeah, I mean, what did Joe played light side, Tatooine CR or CPV?
CPV. That was a Salucci deck a while back. I remember that one.
Yeah, I know that was a Salucci deck, but
they're on
really?
Team 5 or whatever together. So.
Okay, cool. I wish you would have played something at least real.
That's a deck.
It's a deck, but I mean, is it playable? No. I mean, we saw evidence. No, he got smashed.
All right, I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, I was doing commentary for it. I think it was over by like turn 3. So next question, Jerry.
That's me.
We'll go a respectful. Yeah, Jerry Queso Sauce, my co-host. We'll go a respectful 4-2 in the Jawa Cup.
4-2.
4-2.
It's a hit. I'm gonna do it. I got a pretty awesome light side deck or two that I like. I just got to come up with something for dark side. So,
what's the format? Like, how are you guaranteed 6 games or what?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was all like up to 8 games.
I think it's. I want to say if it's up to 8, I'm going to say you're going to go 5-3.
5-3. I can do that. Yeah.
I'm going to say swing
like
and a miss.
It's a hit to me.
All right, thank you, Reed.
I'll say swing and a miss.
Confidence.
It's a hit.
I'll say swing and a miss because
I do like to go 4-4 a lot. It's the thing.
You do. And the other thing is, if I'm in the field, I feel more confident.
Yeah, I still I got some things for dark side that I can play, but I feel a lot better with light side right now.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to use the resources I have. Hey, Reed, you want to help me beat Jerry?
No, because I just hit the hit of Jerry over.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Sweet.
I see how.
All right, cool. So yeah, definitely looking forward to the Jawa Cup that's coming up soon. If you haven't signed up for it, I think you can still get in the next couple of days.
And it's free. It's free.
Free, and it allows you to play in a tournament style environment without qualifying for the OCS and stuff. And Dan and I are going to try to stream some of our games. We've said so. Maybe we'll stream each other's games. I think we kind of mentioned that. So there'll be some content.
You know what? I say we stream a game against each other.
Also, one thing I was thinking we could do for an episode of Holotheatre, we could just play against each other. Because, like, I guess, are you allowed to, like, arrange games? Or I guess you get pairings. I think it might be pairings. If
we get paired against each other, that's what
we
we
have to do it. Yeah, we have to stream.
Yeah, we have to do it.
Somehow.
And how about this? How about we bring in Reed for commentary?
That would be fun. I'm all in favor.
Yeah. We got one last question for this.
Oh, yes,
this
that's on me. So it says here, Chris Werfs will be the last member of Team America in the Outrider Cup. So that is so you're thinking that he's going to be the last pick over Steve Baroni?
Yeah. I think he's going to be over Baroni, Tom Kelly. I think yeah. And the only reason I'm thinking this is, yeah, Hayes. Um, Wirfs is playing really well right now. I mean, we talked about it earlier. Apparently, him and Joe Olson played in a local, and
The Taco Bell Invitational.
The Taco Bell Invitational,
Yeah.
and Wirfs, I think, won it.
Yeah, he did. Pretty sure.
I mean,
but that's a local. But I mean, there
like
is
I
some.
said,
Maybe
it's
it's
a
either him or
local,
Joe
but
who won it. But
yeah.
is
I
my
mean,
guess.
Seattle's got some good players, and he partners and plays with Harpster, who's pretty good. So, I could see it. I mean, Wirfs is playing really, really well right now, and the fact that he actually has Gemp and it plays a lot on Gemp, I think that's beneficial for him.
Yeah. I mean,
that's where I was going to go with that. Was that Wirfs plays on Gemp a ton? And I know Joe plays a decent amount as well, but I would just give it. I think Gemp is obviously a different beast from IRL play, and I think Wirfs' Gemp chops are probably pretty sharp. So I think that it would be a good pick there. Nothing, maybe slightly edge. I guess you said Joe's the next closest.
No, Joe is on there. Isn't
Joe's
the
captain.
Joe's the captain. The other ones who are kind of in contention, like Baroni and Hayes and Tom Kelly, a few other guys like that.
Has Tom been playing as much?
I don't think so.
So, yeah, Wirfs has been playing a ton, and
close.
With Wirfs, you also get the kind of irregular deck choices and his ability to play, some different decks, and that could be good against some of the European players who have, maybe some different deck types in mind.
And I think last year Wirfs actually beat Bastion in the OCS.
I don't remember for sure, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what people were saying. So, okay, so that was that topic. You want to move on?
Yeah. So
because we have a new segment that we're premiering tonight.
Yeah. So this is
Jerry. This is all you, bud.
Someone on the Gemp or the Slack chat or something suggested sort of like a meta card, tech card of the week, or sort of something segment. So each week, Dan and I are gonna each pick a card, one from light side, one from dark side, and it'll be sort of like our card of the week. So this this week,
I think this was a Greg Shaw thing. He said in Slack chat, he was like, "Yeah, my card of the month is Tarkin's Bounty. I've been playing 2 of my ROPs."
Yeah. So this is your saucy deck tech of the week. I really liked the graphic that I came up with for that one.
How long did it take you to make the graphic?
Tortellini involved? Could you have done tortellini and sauce?
Well, see, his we got to come up with his.
We're gonna make one for me next week.
Yeah.
So you have to deal with the queso sauce this week.
So my card of the week is Double Back V. That's the card that I chose. I really like its utility right now, being able to pull 4-LOM. It's not as high of a destiny as your 3PO puller, but you get a lot of extra benefits from it, being able to pull certain Boba Fett's and like Dengar. You can pull Dengar in ship, you can pull Dengar, EPP Dengar, and then it also lets you do like the Black Sun Fleet Admiral's Order, make an extra move kind of thing. So that card, I've been playing it like in stunning move decks where I have a lot of bounty hunters and where I want to use 4-LOM to track around stuff. So yeah, Double Back Virtual. You guys like that card? What do you think?
I think it's a niche card. I mean, it depends on the deck. I mean, if you're running 4-LOM, why not play it? Especially because Dengar's good, so I like it. I really have not really used the loss part of it. I wish it was a little higher on the Destiny, but
yeah, if it was a 4, I would play it a little bit more. But being able to pull 4-LOM is really good because for me, I'm not as good at tracking as I'd like to be. So this allows me to get a little better and work on that. So, Reed, any thoughts?
I probably first saw that card used to great effectiveness at Worlds 2018. Because that was Agents of Black Sun Worlds.
Yeah, the AOBS Worlds.
And I kind of was like, I don't really want to play this card in my Agents deck, and so I didn't. But then guess who did?
Bastion.
World Championship winner Bastion Winklehawk. And so that's when I was kind of turned on to it. Of course, when I built ISB Fred's ISB deck, that deck played, I think maybe 2 copies of it because it wants to get Forlom out really rapidly.
For sure.
It might have only had one
Yes.
copy, but then after I built that deck and it had Forlom in it, and I was just using the interrupt to pull Forlom. B. Fred and I both we dabbled with Dengar in there, but then I tried this wacky thing where I was playing Boba Fett and Slave One, non-virtual, I think for some reason, but just because I needed another ship, and I was like, wow, I can pull this with.
Yeah, being able to pull ships with it is something I didn't realize I could do at first, but like it's super strong, or it can be.
I mean, I'll say this much: if Dengar V and his ship were just a little better, sorry, Bill, but I mean, if they were a little better, I could see it playing a little bit more. Personally, I would love to see like, not to talk about legacy, but I would love to bring back like a Zuckuss and his Miss Hunter. Those were really good dark side ships. I mean, dark side needs good, better, I would say.
It was the one that like subtracted 2 from each destiny or whatever. Yeah, I mean, might have to make it a little
punishing 1 added 3 to attrition.
Yeah, that's right. Those were some interesting. You had a pretty cool like combat response space package with the bounty hunters.
Outside of you played him, you played Baron, you played all sorts of good like dark side matching ships. I would love to see some dark side matching ships. Yeah. Something new, you know. I'm sick and tired of playing Emperor's shuttle, Vader's shuttle, the 1 or 2 Star Destroyers. I mean, yeah, they're good and all, but give me something else.
I would like Star Destroyers to be good again, and also like you said, some more matching ships. Be sweet. So Dan, you picked a light side card, and you picked. Go ahead.
I picked Ascension Guns.
Virtual.
Honestly, like virtual. Yeah,
PMJ's happy.
Well, PMJ's not watching. He never watched.
Boo.
Boo.
Yeah, right?
Boo, PMJ.
Yeah. No, so for me, I know this was initially made to be a WAP helper, but thinking about it, I mean, this can go into just a lot of decks just because of the second part of the game text. If your opponent occupies a location, peek at the top 2 cards of your reserve deck and take 1 into hand. Now, it's not as good as it doesn't see as much play now because of Rescue in the Clouds, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say that with the Rescue in the Clouds, kind of. I used to play it a lot in QMC, but then like Rescue in the Clouds came out and it like cancels close call and has like mobile site protection on it, so I kind of switched to that. But yeah, Ascension Guns, I can see it maybe like in Profit, because a lot of times they end up putting your aliens right out there and they occupy an interior location, so you're just like, or occupy one of your locations, so you get to trigger its text pretty easily in a deck like Profit. So.
And the other good thing is, say you're running like a Deadeye business deck where you run Master Qui-Gon V. You could grab this card from Master Qui-Gon V.
Right.
So with Rescuing the Clouds, you can't. So
yeah,
it's just one thing. I mean, cards like that those little synergies that people forget about because we're seeing cards like Rescuing the Clouds or other things. You know, this is a reason to play it. I mean, yeah, it has the portion from WAP, which I don't think is as good right now just because of ROPS and seeing a lot of like Imp Decree stuff. So
yeah,
maybe we'll see some WAP in the Jawa Cup.
I have a feeling you will. Yeah, because I mean, without like my father before me and some of the other light side decks, I feel like WAP has some good matchups. Although I think there are some Entanglements has always been kind of a hard matchup for WAP, and I feel like that one could be big on the dark side. But
you got Entanglements, Hoth CRV. You got anything that starts Decree or anything that can put like multiple guys down to the throne room.
Right.
Hunt Down is pretty good. Hunt Down is a hard game, but it's winnable. It just really depends on the style of WAP that you're playing. Like WAP in space, pretty good against Hunt Down.
Yeah, because you have the extra space damage that you can do, and but it still does a lot of times come down to that throne room when you're playing WAP. So what about you, Reed? You like Ascension Guns?
Well, like you said, I think the only deck that you play it for Rescue was QMC. And granted, you could still, I mean, it still beats Rescue in one thing, in that it lets you stack your Destiny like 4 luck style, but that's not good enough to play it over. So I mean, the idea to play in profit was cool and all, but yeah, I feel like it's mostly like a WAP only
Mhm.
card at this point.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Which incidentally I don't think made the cut into the Pittsburgh limited format. So I don't think there will be WAP at all in PLF. Java
Oh,
Cup probably.
Yeah.
so you guys
PLF,
didn't.
last I checked, it didn't make it, but
Yeah. I
Okay.
think you're right.
So in the
So,
Pittsburgh format, you can't have the WAP helper, or is it the Ascension guns that
no,
do
there's
that?
just no
no,
WAP, Jerry. There's no
WAP in
WAP
general.
Oh,
objective.
you just
Yeah,
okay.
there's no Thief Palace throne room. There's nothing that would go. There's no Queen Without nothing.
Ah,
You just can't
okay.
play it.
So yeah, there's a much more
Oh,
restricted list to that format than the Java
And
Cup.
that's
Okay.
why
it
Matt
looks like
posted
it.
Matt posted like a screenshot of
Mhm.
basically the platforms that are available for each side, just to help people get started with
Well,
their deck building.
he's also got the Excel sheet on the forums.
Okay.
If you go to the local tournament weekend forums, you can actually see all the cards that they allow.
Okay. Cool.
And I mean, you can actually, and the nice thing is, if you want to just be like, oh, okay, I can play this deck, there is a way to you can actually,
Yeah, the spreadsheet is super
right.
searchable.
Nice. Well, I'll have to
It's like
check it out.
it's like equal parts fun and
Mhm.
frustrating. Also, like looking up, be like, wow, I wonder if this is legal, and then you look up, it's like, oh, it's not legal.
Yeah.
Well, I know you guys made Ray is not legal.
I know.
Yeah.
EPP Ray or
Ray with
Oh,
lightsaber is your only Ray option.
yeah.
But
that's fine.
use Pool Ray didn't make it.
All right. So yeah, with that in mind, we can kind of steer towards our conversation with Reed.
Mhm.
With all the sort of limited formats and stuff, like that's sort of where I kind of want to start. Do you feel like with this Pittsburgh format, like actually banning Decipher cards, is that like where we should be headed, or is that just sort of something you guys are trying out to see how it goes, or sort of explain the inspiration behind doing that?
Well, kind of a little bit of both. It is something that we're trying out to see where it goes. Not that I think it's going to go anywhere. It's just something that we came up with for fun, but it's based off of the idea and the concept that I came up with back during the last reset, which was to involve calling a lot of Decipher cards, because Decipher had both the luxury and also like the onus of having to produce like so many cards in
Correct.
every single set. Premier was a big set, and Special Edition, those were the big sets. I think 324 cards in each, and then everything else was 162. But still, that's just a whole lot of stuff and a whole lot of mess.
And then there's all
And
the
I know that,
boutique sets and all the other small, EPP packs and all that other stuff that kind of adds up to the bloat of the card pool.
Yeah.
yeah, and but I also understand that that's like a competitive player's complaint also, because I know that there are a lot of people who really enjoy like digging through
The collecting
the
aspect of
rough
it.
for the diamonds, and also the whole if it's in your head, it's in here
Hmm.
aspect where you can Minox attaching to starships and
Right.
actually want to do, but nobody's trying to tell those people that they can't play that way, and we're gonna like I said, it's equal parts. It's something we're doing to see how it plays. And I know it's been a lot of fun so far, building decks, and also just running a couple of games that I've run on GAMP with those decks against like Java Cup participants. But yeah, but it's also something that I don't know. If you asked me for my ideal version of like a reset and rotation and everything else, that's what it would be. It would come up with like a really nice base set, and then we have virtual sets to go from there, and we have scheduled, this is how many sets we're going to do, the magic number being 9. And then we some of those cards, the best of those cards, the most popular of those cards, those most
Mhm.
beloved of those cards, can stay forever and become one with the force. But then everything else gets rotated, rotated away, along with and maybe even probably at that same time, you can also usher in on schedule, you can usher in a new D&D team that operates the next saga or whatever. And that's not to say that if somebody's really passionate about design and development that they can't ever come back. But I mean, you can term limits, or you can say, hey, take a set off, and then you can run for the next set and see. However the selection process is made, then you see if you make it.
Right. All right. I like those ideas. Dan.
Yeah. So here's my question. So I'm actually looking at some of the lists right now. Um, like, was there an? So I noticed like you guys have Dark Side Senate, no Light Side Senate. Just like so, why in particular some of the card choices? Like you were saying, there's no
I'm glad that
WAP.
you asked specifically about that one because that was one of my that was one of the things that I pushed. And I basically, I mean, because the group that's working on this, it's all us Pittsburgh guys, and it's such a small group, and obviously, we're all great friends. There wasn't really a whole lot of ego, but there was a whole lot of, oh, that's what you want to do? Let's do it. So that was one of the things that was one of the things, Daniel, that I wanted to do. I was like, we can include Dark Senate, but not Light Senate, and we're going to include Light Combat, but not Dark Combat.
Interesting.
And why? Because historically, Dark Senate was the best. It was, and like I can't think of like an event that Light Senate. Like what was the best Light Senate? I don't know. But also historically, Light Combat was the best. Yeah. Dark Combat has always kind of been like it just wasn't as good. And like those are for people for people who want to harken back to the early 2000s. Those were two of the top decks. It was Dark Senate versus Light Combat. Dark Senate versus Light Combat. Is that meta gonna regenerate in 2019? No, but at least those iconic decks from that era are available for play. Same thing with like Hunt Down, Watch Your Step, and got the Throne Room. There's so many cards and deck types that are iconic that at least I wanted to. Mind What You Learn is another one.
I see that. Yes, I see you have like Mind What You. I see that you have like Mind What You Learn, Hunt Down. Like there's no. Looks like you have CCT. So I mean, out of the original objectives, I mean, it looks like you're missing ISB. I mean, you have hidden base. So I mean, I could see a lot of like the good original ones. So I mean, it looks like it's a fair list, but I mean. Was there any card that you were like, okay, I would love to play with this card, but people are saying no. Okay, I'm gonna do what the people want.
That's a good one.
No, that happened. That happened actually after Matt posted the final list. There was some stuff, and I was like, but then I just kind of was like, okay, cool. I can build a deck with it without this card, or I can roll with this punch, and we'll see where the format takes us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
did talk to Matt about a couple of things privately, and then he he gave me his reasoning. I was like, oh, good reasoning, bro. Let's go with it.
Okay, cool.
I think that's kind of my excitement with like I've been sort of building my decks in preparation for the Jawa Cup, and it's like, oh well, is this any good? Like you kind of like think about the things like, oh well, without ROPS in the meta or without map, I have to worry about those two decks. Yeah, maybe I can play like some weird stuff, and so like that's kind of like the exciting thing is once you kind of cut out some of that stuff, it's you look at what you have to play with and you don't know what's really good or not. But that's why I kind of like that people are doing lots of these different formats. This time of year is also sort of like there's a lot of online tournaments going on, like the OCS is wrapping up, and then we have the Outrider Cup coming up soon. But like this time of year, there's really not a big in-person tournament until after the new year. So being able to kind of stretch our legs and play with some different formats and some different objectives and things like that, I think will be kind of fun for everybody, and we can kind of see maybe a preview of what's to come once we've heard from Chris Kelly and like the other design team stuff that the erratas to like ROPS, OA, and decks to map, things to fix,
like
my father before me. Those are all in the works, and I think will be out in time for the Seattle tournament and in time for those of us who are playing or going to the tournament to be able to see what the meta will look like. So that's kind of what I'm excited for, is stretching my legs a little bit and not playing ROPS, not playing Throne Room, and playing some fun decks and just kind of seeing what happens. Like there's not a lot of pressure on these events, these online ones that I'm in, but it'll be fun to, like I said, to play QMC and play Watto, or like play Combat for each side, or play some Senate decks. Like be neat.
Okay. So, Reed, do you want to give us a little bit of a snippet as to what you're thinking about playing for your local?
No.
Come on. Nothing.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that that this is going to be recorded, and then people can tune in later.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's rephrase that
And
question.
it's gonna be a very small field. No, I'm just kidding. I'll tell you what I've been playing.
Okay.
Yeah, like let's rephrase it. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think at first glance is sort of like strong in your guys' meta? Like, what have you kind of looked towards or felt like?
Well, competitively in both our meta and also in Java Cup, the Destroyer droids don't seem to have taken a hit at all.
No.
So I think that's auto. Like you can play that because that deck is good in reggae meta. So why wouldn't it be good in?
Well, I mean, I was going to say,
what I have been playing on the Giggity Gimp is some Mind What You've Learned pod racing.
Okay.
Which so far has been a lot
What?
of fun.
Are you
And
doing
I'm
like
still
full
playing-
testing on that, or are you just testing like to 2 or 3, or is it just an
No,
activation?
initially the plan was complete test 1 and then
okay.
and then pretend like you're trying to complete test 2 so that you're constantly drawing 2 to choose 1 every turn, but then you get to cancel and redraw one of those 2 with Yoda. So you're basically getting a mini like 4 luck where you get to look at 2 cards and take one in the hand every turn.
Okay.
But then
I like it.
like to do that you have to chase test 2 around, which is a big pain in the neck and kind of defeats the purpose, but it's still kind of good.
Interesting.
At least for that meta.
Neat.
Okay. I personally would never have figured you to play Mind What You Have Learned pod racing.
I used to play it back in the day, man. And that was another one of my the things that I basically pushed through during the creation of the limited format list was to have Mind What You've Learned included. Not because I thought it would be any good, but because I thought it would at least be, it would scratch somebody's fun Fred itch somewhere. Because Yoda V's game text, Yoda V obviously makes it into the list.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to have one without the other.
Yeah, exactly. So when you have when you have your Jedi testing on your turn and your pod racing on the opponent's turn, each turn you're getting to look at 2 cards and take one in the hand, which doesn't really do much to help you win the game, but it's fun.
No, I like it.
So besides your Destroyer Droid deck, what do you like for Dark Side? Because honestly, like I thought the Destroyer Droid deck was more of like an anti-mains deck.
Sure. I mean, people were always going to play mains.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the matchups that I don't like to see with the Destroyer Droid deck in reggae meta is like, I don't know, No Idea, which doesn't exist in either Jawa Cup or Pittsburgh.
No, you guys have No Idea on the list.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Oh, rip.
Yeah.
Well, if I told you what else I was looking at for Dark, see, my plan locally is to basically hope everybody thinks that I'm going to play Destroyer Droids, and then I can play whatever else that I might have that second banana to that.
Hey, I'm going to say this. Oh, careful what you say. Remakers in the chat. Remakers watching. Say hi to Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
So yeah, what I've been playing, because he chatted.
It's the Remaker.
He chatted earlier.
Which alt is it?
Yeah, maybe it's Brian Fred.
Well, aren't they the same person? I've never seen them in the same room together.
I'm pretty sure I have. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of WAP, and I've been playing a little bit of Profit in the Java Cup games. And I also have this like Hoth CPV that runs Jedi Business. That's kind of fun and weird.
That just sounds bad.
Well, it's so that like the
Jerry, how high were you? How high were you when you built that deck?
I was, usual.
About the normal level.
Yeah, standard. But I don't know, like, so the Jedi Council Chamber like cancels the Force Drain bonus from the non-unique Jedi lightsabers. So if you want to run like Jedi Business, I found it like not good to run the Jedi Council Chamber. So I needed some sort of way to like get an activation platform without running, pullers and JCCs and stuff. So that's kind of what I came up with. And then
you're running you're running the a new system.
Yeah, you run Camino and you pull that with new Secret Base, EDO type stuff, and then you use Camino to pull the 2-0. And then you just like stack all your ships at Hoth and Camino, and then you have like Jedis on the ground force training and battling at their locations and stuff. I don't know. It's probably really bad. But look forward. You can see it in the Jawa Cup coming up.
You know what? Okay. Honestly, I haven't
that idea from Dorsch. Dorsch one. Thanks.
I don't know. I don't know if I did. But he might have gotten it from me.
Isn't it? It's not an original though. It's not a queso sauce original.
Oh, it's pretty saucy. Like I don't think anyone else is playing that deck. So I came up with the list that I didn't like copy someone else's and take out 3 cards like I normally do. This is a from scratch. The best sauce comes from scratch.
All right.
Oh God.
I can do this all day, Dan.
I'm gonna say this. I've got nothing so far for the Jawa Cup. I'm literally like, if anybody wants to give me any ideas on what to play, please
play some Watto, man. Play Watto.
Yeah, Watto could be good. I've tested around with a little bit. Without like throne room screwing over your shit all the time, Watto can be pretty decent.
Well, I mean, you still have there's still Hitco.
But no, like my father before me. We discussed this last week.
My father, yeah.
Like, are you gonna play Hitco without like my father before me? Like, some people say they might. I'd rather play There Is Good in Him. If I'm gonna play an indoor-based Luke deck, it's gonna be There Is Good in Him, as opposed to.
Why?
Because it's better than Hitco without like my father before me. In my humblest
play Watto
opinion.
with some Star Destroyers in it.
I'd play like 12 card.
You play the Vengeance.
Is that? Oh yeah.
That's one that like stocks.
How about this?
But yeah.
No, the Vengeance is the one where if you win a battle, they
lose
get a
force.
ping advantage. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's the Stalker that stalks them around.
The Stalker moves around.
Stalker's a great card.
That was
the Conquest is the one that blew out Chris Kelly.
All right, so yeah, Eric says he's got decks for you in chat.
Yes, please. Just give me something, something fun. Eric, if you can hook me up, that would be great.
It better be Watto.
Better be Watto. Play some Watto.
Dude, I'm gonna say this. The last time I played Watto, I got crushed. I have no luck with Watto.
I incidentally have a Watto objective signed by Dan Tartaglione in his beautiful calligraphy.
Ooh.
When did I ever sign your
Jerry,
Watto?
do you know about Dan's handwriting?
He's got the best handwriting in Star Wars.
Yeah, it's the best.
Like,
yeah.
when we used to do handwritten deck lists, like him, and like there was a couple.
Paul Bansel.
Paul was really good, and there was a couple other who are like in the handwriting Hall of Fame. But then you get like Brian Harold and John Westergaard who like write it on like a pizza box and they put stickers and like coloring sheets all over it.
No,
Yeah.
you know who I love.
Message around the
Yeah, the like hate speech all around the border against the moderators. That was always the best. Loved that.
I still
animated GIFs are not a crime.
They are so a crime. Actually, I love animated GIFs just more than like just anybody.
If you're on Slack, Jerry definitely loves his animated GIFs.
GIFs, but anyways.
GIF.
It's like the peanut butter, not like the present.
It's graphic interchange format. I don't see a J in there.
No, it's giraffic.
Giraffic. Giraffic.
Giraffic Park.
All right.
So before we got anything else. So I was been told by one Anthony Batmouse Howard to let everybody know that on GAMP in the leagues there's a bunch of like trick or treating things. So if you play, you're going to get like special Batmouse treats.
Yeah, Batmouse is in the chat. Maybe he can explain it a little better. Yeah, but
basically, he's being extremely cryptic on it.
Oh, okay.
So,
but basically, tomorrow is Halloween, and there will be lots of Halloween sort of themed tournaments and events with special prizes going around. So if you're online tomorrow, make sure to get in a few games and see what Batmouse has cooked up for you on some trick or treats. So. Should be pretty fun. I'll definitely try to get in a game or two tomorrow.
I work.
My wife's working late, so I'll just be here. So.
Well, I mean, I got other plans, unfortunately.
We should play some Watto, Reed. You and me.
Jerry, you playing Java Cup tomorrow?
Yeah.
It doesn't start yet, does it?
It doesn't start yet, but I'll play some Java Cup games because I need to get some practice in.
I'm gonna be a little busy tomorrow at the bars.
There you go. Have fun with that.
How many peeps are in the Java Cup? You guys should have done an over/under on it for it's a hit. I just assumed it's a Wookiee.
That's true.
I want to say
how many peeps are signed up right now?
It's like over 45.
Less than 45, right?
It's like 45, between 40 and 45. Yeah, I was number 37.
You get 50 people. Fifth?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's
45. 45 people.
It's a hit
45 so
or
far.
45.
So, I mean,
And looking at this thing, I mean, it seems like it's a good field. I mean,
yeah, there's some pretty good names on there for sure.
Robbie's playing.
Yeah, like getting Robbie back playing. He hasn't played games in a
Yeah.
long time. I'm excited about that. Oh yeah, well, and yes, we know you get 64 for the game PC.
Brian's playing.
Yeah, Batmouse is saying that he gets 64 for the Gen PC, which yeah, that's great. Gen PC is awesome.
Cool.
Cool story, bro.
Those are rookie numbers. We got to get those numbers up.
Maybe you can get your own podcast and you can talk all about it.
Oh God, I think if Reed gets his
for
own,
anybody interested more in the Pittsburgh Limited format, stay tuned to Coran's broadcast because he's going to have multimedia and special projects advocate Matt Cooley on his podcast here in a day or three, talking about just that Pittsburgh Limited format.
Yeah,
I forgot Coran has
Sure
his
check out.
his is a audio podcast, right?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
We've had actually a few users
what he
who
calls
watch our show that or see if they ever want to get like an audio version of it. It's not really something that's easy for us to do, but there's an audio podcast brought to you by Corn, so maybe check that one
Corin's
out.
a big time content creator. He also does the bad deck breakdown.
Yeah, that's with him and CRG. So shout out
Yeah.
to those guys.
yeah. I love seeing like all this stuff that we're doing. I mean, I would love to see more. Are there two guys on for the Astros right now?
Yeah, so let's see. It's it's a 30-second break now, but it's 2 on.
It's 2 on, 2 outs in the
World
fifth.
Series, Game 7. Yeah, it's in the 5th, 2 on, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th.
You know what?
Scherzer's
We got to
at
get.
93 pitches. So
I was going to say somebody mentioned
That's a lot of pitches.
Garrett Cole warning, so maybe we'll see some more distractions for Garrett Cole.
still some more. Yeah.
Hey, that's all I'm saying.
Dan, you can look those up on the internet.
We talked about this.
All right, so yeah, I think that's about all we had planned for you guys tonight. Thanks for tuning in to Holotheatre, your weekly Star Wars CCG video podcast on Twitch.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Reed.
There he goes.
See you
We're
later.
back on to Johnny Depp.
We'll see you next time. But yeah, thanks for being here. If you guys make sure to renew your subscriptions if you have those going, or if you feel like giving us your free Twitch Prime subscriptions, make sure to get those in. We always appreciate that, and you can get started in the foil program. I know I'm about 1 month away from 12 months. At 12 months, that's the foil map objective for 12 months. I'm really excited about that. So I got 1 more month to go before I get that. So pretty excited. So
I just got up to number 5.
all right, I think you go. Next one is at 6. So yeah, it's like 1, 3, and 6. I think are the monthly rewards. But yeah, more on that with Gogolin's show. But yeah, that was a
Gogolin hour.
Fun time chatting with Reed. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And stay tuned next week. May the force be with you. All that good stuff.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you.